Travis Kelce spotted heading home alone in his $400,000 Rolls-Royce from Chiefs training in Kansas City. Travis Kelce has been spotted heading home from Chiefs training in his $400,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost as girlfriend Taylor Swift jetted off to London. The tight end football player was likely making his way back to his newly acquired mansion in Leawood, Kansas City, which boasts 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, and sprawls across 17,000 square feet. Kelce looked relaxed as he was snapped by photographers in his luxury black sedan after preparing for Sunday's game against the Green Bay Packers, which will be held in Wisconsin. A smile appeared across his face as he sat behind the wheel of the huge vehicle. The images come as Swift was seen entering a private plane in Kansas City on Wednesday evening. The pop star is on her way to London to support Beyoncé at the British premiere of her new film Renaissance for its second official opening screening on Thursday night. Swift hadn't been in town long, only landing in Kansas City on Monday after finishing her final Eras tourist show in Sao Paulo, Brazil. She and Kelce then spent time hanging out with Patrick Mahomes and his wife, Brittany, yesterday and this afternoon. The 34-year-old football player and the Grammy hitmaker spent 2 nights hunkered down in his new home, only emerging to visit the Mahomes on Tuesday and Wednesday. The pop star and Kelce arrived separately at the sprawling estate on Tuesday morning, accompanied by Swift's security detail. Kelce arrived in his iconic vehicle wearing a red hoodie, while Swift was driven to the property a short time before her boyfriend. The two couples also spent several hours together at the Mahomes' newly built $8 million mega mansion last night, which features a full-length football field with his name in the end zone and his logo on the 20-yard line. Swift then went back to Kelce's house and 5 hours later left his home for the airport. On Sunday, Kelce etched his name into the history books by reaching the 11,000-yard mark in just his 154th game for Kansas City against the Las Vegas Raiders. In the second quarter of Sunday's game at Allegiant Stadium, the Chiefs' tight end took a 27-yard catch which saw him pass the milestone and set an NFL record in the process. He is the fastest tight end in history to record 11,000 career yards after doing so in just 154 games, surpassing Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez's previous record of 191 games, as well as the only player in Chiefs history to do so. Kelce's historic evening was not in vain as the Chiefs successfully bounced back from last week's defeat by the Eagles in a 31-17 victory over the Raiders. He was already 4th on the all-time receiving yards list for tight ends and one of only 4 with more than 10,000 of them. Kelce is also in the top 4 in career receptions and receiving yards, holds the record for most 100-yard receiving games, and is on the way to an 8th 1,000-yard season with no other tight end recording more than 4. Besides his new record, Kelce also played a huge role in helping the Kansas City Chiefs win this year's Super Bowl in February. With the release of Spotify's annual Wrapped campaign today, Kelce and his brother, Jason's podcast New Heights was named Spotify's #1 sports podcast in the world. The Kelce brothers also added being the #3 most followed overall show on Apple Podcasts behind Huberman Lab and Smartless. New Heights was also the top sports podcast in America and the top American football podcast in the U.S., per Spotify. The Kelce duo publish new episodes weekly despite their busy schedules in and outside of football. Kelce will be playing against Wisconsin's Green Bay Packers on December 3rd.